Our Chris Mortensen reports that the NFL has found that 11 of the 12 Patriot footballs were significantly deflated. League sources involved and familiar with the situation told him that on Monday night. However, our new question is, how in fact should they be punished if they are found guilty? We're putting the NFL on the hook. Joining us now is our NFL analyst and former Eagle, Brian Dawkins. We call you a man of high integrity. So we want to talk. We all try to be, don't we? That was our discussion going before the break. Talk to us. How should they be punished if, in fact, they were found guilty, if there was ill will here?
Well, just listening to a lot of the whole gambit of a lot of people talking about everything that is involved in this. And I think we're losing scope of the first thing, that if, in fact, that they have been found cheating, the results of the game should not ever matter, because the rules in place are not guidelines that, if you cheat, but you blow a team out, then the cheating does not matter. Or if you cheat and it comes close, now you're in trouble. Now, the rules are in place that if you break them, and if it's deemed that you have broken them and you've had past offenses that makes you a repeat offender of some sorts, then the stipulations of the punishment should be greater. And so if it is found that this team has once again done something that pushes the envelope. Now listen, I was a guy that played the game. I tried my best to play it within the lines, but I know every once in a while a hit or two crossed the line. I knew that. From time to time it did do that. But that's in the play of the game. That's a decision that I made in the game. We're going into the game. If I decided, for instance, to put Vaseline all over my body, that's intentionally doing something that I knew was against the rule that could affect the ball game. Now, am I a quarterback? No, I'm not a quarterback. But the rules that are put in place for quarterbacks, especially in bad weather games, all right? If you look at the way that the Patriots won both those games, once against the Ravens and against the Colts, there weren't a lot of deep balls. I said on my Twitter account that you can look for a lot of the passes to be inside the numbers because of the bad weather. And that's what really happened. So if you have a quarterback that can grip the ball better and throwing those high percentage passes, which Tom Brady does a great job anyway, but it even escalates even more in the playoffs in those bad weather situations. If they have found to have done something once again, you have to punish them. And you have to take away draft picks, because if you just find them, that's not going to do anything.
All right, wait a second. To me, you're going down the path of they should forfeit the game. No? Because you were going there. You were saying that the rules should apply no matter whether it was 45-7 or 14-13. That they still cheated, right?
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing is because the game was a blowout, it's laughable. What if they did anything to the balls? They can play with ping pongs, I heard somebody say. It's no big deal. That's not the rules are put in place, not because of that. The rules are put in place to make everything as level of a playing field as possible. And if it's deemed by the NFL that a deflated ball gives one quarterback the advantage over another team, and only one team does it, and you purposefully did it going into the game knowing full well it's against the rules, you have to punish them.
Well, first of all, let me say a couple of things. Number one, you're right. Number two, I'm really interested in knowing what you feel about Belichick at this particular moment in time, because we don't know how much he knew and how involved he was in this. My only thing about it, I don't agree with those asserting that, who cares, the ping pong balls, the outcome was the outcome. I do feel this way. I don't want to hear a damn word from the Indianapolis Colts. You played like garbage. You got trounced. Don't look at the football and deflated football, because I saw dudes wide open. Yeah. I saw LeGarrette Blount running over you. Whether the ball was hard or whether the ball was soft, it doesn't negate the fact that he was walking through gaps as wide as Broadway on a Sunday morning with empty streets. I mean, because nobody was in the vicinity to tackle him when you gave up 148 yards. Shut up. The Indianapolis Colts, just be quiet. Nobody want to hear from y'all, okay? But with that being said, I do get what you're saying about the rules. So if Bill Belichick is found to have known about this, does it stop at the draft picks for you?
Again, I don't know how much of a fine. If you remember the last time, I'm kind of fuzzy on it a little bit, but they fined him $500,000, I think, and he got a raise that next year. So what did that really do to that $500,000? That's still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
Well, it hurt at the time.
At the time.
Now, it didn't hurt a year later.
That raise came along that kind of wiped that out. I guess what I'm saying is that if you look at the two things that really hurts teams, all right, Bad drafts hurt teams.
Okay.
And then not being able to balance your cap right. Like they did Washington. They took a lot of money away from Washington when they was, deemed that they did whatever they did.
And the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys as well. So that hurt them. So I'm saying if you really want to hurt a team, you really want to hurt them,
sure,
draft picks and hit that salary.
Yeah.
I'm of the mindset, and I'm a Belichick fan because I think he's great. But with Spygate and then now this, if it is found that Bill Belichick knew and dare I say authorized, and I'm not saying that he did in any way, I have no idea what his role was, if any at all. But if it is found that he knew of this and let it happen, or dare I say authorized this, to me this is tantamount to what Sean Payton got suspended for, and he should get the year.
Your
That's
take.
huge. That's huge. Now,
But I'm saying, if you're found to knowingly engage in this kind of deception, you authorized it.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm sorry. Sean Payton was suspended for the year. Why was he suspended for the year? Greg Williams did all of that.
Although he oversaw.
Well, that's what am I saying? What am I saying?
I think that's the one thing you say overseeing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Overseeing it, if you do about it. But
And lied about it.
Here's the other question about it is, okay, if you have now been found to have done two things, all right, is one thing that I know about the people that I've grown up with, all right, those who consistently tell half-truths, all right, there are other things that they are doing that we just don't know about. So these are two instances that could possibly be found out about them. What else are they doing? See, that's the speculation that's now rising up. What else are you doing that we don't know about?
Well, if that's the case, then why do you seem like you have a problem with my position?
I don't have a problem
because I'm saying,
I'm
just saying, if Belichick is found to have authorized and or oversaw deception in an AFC championship game, you got to go. I think
the only thing,
that's what I'm saying.
The only place that I would have not an issue with it is that you talking about the purposeful injury of players.
That's what I said earlier.
Of thinking.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that I would throw up. Just you're talking about going out specifically to say that we're going to take this dude's knee out and blow his career.
And I believe that y'all are looking at all of this wrong. Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, had his defense, and it has been believed and reported that those were his actions. What Sean Payton did, what his ultimate crime was turning a blind eye and a deaf ear to it and then lying to the commissioner. It wasn't that he was sitting out there, go after this guy's knees, take him out or whatever. He was saying, y'all just do what y'all gonna do. And then when the commissioner came to him, he lied about it. To me, that's different than Greg Williams. See, Greg Williams, to me, was more egregious than anybody. He was more egregious than Sean Payton. But since you still decided to suspend Sean Payton for the year, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Bill Belichick was as egregious as Greg Williams, but Sean Payton, why he got suspended for that year was deception and a leader.
What you're also doing is you're holding the coaches of a higher regard, like they say they should be in the first place. They're always telling us as players that they're going to hold the coaches to a higher standard like they should, the owners to a higher standard. Now, if you start doing that, what you're talking about now, NFL, you're saying we're actually doing what we say we're supposed to be doing in the first place.
Go figure.
Skip Bayless, get in here,
Quick point of order about Sunday night's game. If memory serves, Tom Brady threw two of the poorest deep balls that he threw all year in that game. One to Shane Vereen up the sideline that was so poorly underthrown, Shane Vereen came completely back under the defender and caught it. And then he had Julian Edelman wide open deep for a touchdown, and he underthrew it so poorly that Edelman had to come back and fall down and catch it. Do you remember this?
Even the pick to me was bad.
The pick was just a little late, and it was going to have to be a perfect throw, and DeQuell Jackson made a great play on it, I thought. But, okay, so now back to the question. I said earlier in the show, you have to hit this team where it hurts the most, and it's the draft choice to start with. I don't care about the money. You're right. Bob Kraft says, I'll give you a raise and I'll actually pay your $500,000 fine for you in effect. That's fine. The money is irrelevant to me, but the draft choice is extremely relevant. You take this upcoming first-round pick. Now, it's going to be 31 or 32 in the first round, depending on the outcome of the Super Bowl. The more we talk about it, maybe you want to take the second-round pick, too, just because of track record.
Absolutely.
And now you have yet another black eye for a league that's had a few here of late. And the Patriots certainly have another one. And they are about to be prominent on the biggest stage in American sports and certainly in the NFL, the Super Bowl. I think you have to come down hard, because I love Chris Mortensen's report that the NFL and officials he characterized as angry and distraught. You know, they're distraught over this because what terrible timing. It's the Patriots again after Spygate and after the allegation that they videotaped the walkthrough before the first Super Bowl they won at the Superdome after the 2001 season. You participated in a Super Bowl in which they won their third Super Bowl, correct?
Yes.
So,
Jacksonville.
Yeah. So how do you feel as you look back on, do you have any doubt lingering in your head about what happened in that Super Bowl?
And any person that will tell you that played in that game to say, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that they did not, they would be telling the fib. But I say that we had our chances.
Right.
We didn't get it done. That's who I am. That's how I play the game. They did a better job of the small things, and we did not. Defensively, we can't give up that late drive to eat up that time on the clock to allow them to kick that field goal, and we lost by 3 points.
You did.
So I put it on me. I put it on us as a team more than I put it on what they could have or should, they might have known. Now, I think that where we're getting in trouble is that we're treating this thing too lightly in a lot of cases. I think when you have rules in place, and no matter how small we think they are, rules are put in place for a reason. They're there to follow, to govern the body, to govern what's going on the football field. And if we have a team that continuously says, you know what, we know the rules. Matter of fact, we know the rules better than a lot of other teams because you saw what Belichick did. Deception.
Yeah.
So we know what we're doing, and we're going to continue to go out and do things in such a way as to show how much smarter we are than the rest of you as we break the rules. So if they have been found, like you said, Stephen A., and I'm leaning toward where you're going with this, if they have deemed to have done this once again, I do think that you need to get him up out of there for. By
the way, y'all, Bill Belichick's on the record. He denied that he knew anything about this.
Sure.
So if you find out otherwise,
he lied.
If you find out otherwise, we don't know.
That's the key. How can you find that out?
Brian
How can you truly
Dawkins,
find that out?
we actually kind of stumbled on the question, what if Tom Brady were involved? Does he deserve any responsibility? How should he be punished? We might discuss that after the break. Just think about it. We're going to take a break. You're sticking around.
Yes, I am.
Deflategate, our discussions continue in just a few moments.